Mad as Razma doing some Mad as Razma business on the treble 19.
77.
Winner of this to face either Jim Williams or James Hurrell. Both round one losers yesterday.
59.
A couple of trebles gets him back into this leg.
85.
One doesn't so much.
$98. $180.
Well, that puts the cat amongst the pigeons as far as this leg is concerned. Madders may only get one dart at the ball here. To the 16s. Leaves double 9. Oh, that's excellent work from Mad as Razma. Should feel comfortable on that double 9. Double 18 is one of his go-to doubles, Mad as Razma, so if you're throwing at 18 a lot, you're going to be throwing. But it does leave him with some awkward situations to negotiate sometimes. And, you know, 3 points difference between treble 20 and treble 19. It's not very much, but it does add up.
80.
And whereas if you've been playing on the 20s, you might leave 161. Well, if you've lost a few points on
58.
the treble 19, you might leave 171 or 172 or 3 or 4. That's not a finish, obviously. You're giving yourself a little bit more work to do sometimes. But the trade-off is, if he's so good at hitting the treble 19 like this,
96.
then you're going to score heavier than the treble 20. He scored heavily enough to give himself a chance to break the Willie O'Connor throw.
$84.
Treble 18, or is he going on the 20s this time? He is, because Willie's on a finish. That leaves double 5. And that is double 5, and this is magnificent finishing from Mad as Razma. Chasing in this leg, where he did have the darts.
$99. $100.
Ooh, lovely. Couldn't follow it.
100.
So to break straight back, Willie O'Connor.
Game shot.
Well, the finishing's been very good in this one, hasn't it? Just the one dart missed at double so far, and that was Willie O'Connor at tops, but he didn't miss it there. Perhaps the poorest scoring leg of the match between these two, but Mad as Razma still in charge, and Willie O'Connor getting more and more frustrated by the moment. Full double teapot from Willie at the back of the booth
96.
there, hands on hips.
$58.
What's the route? Very conventional. For yet another combo finish.
85.
He has finally missed one, but that's the time to do it, when O'Connor's back in the 200s.
$96. Game shot.
Doesn't miss the double 8. It is 5-2. Mad as Razma a leg away.
$100. $140.
Well, it's a big in this, but it's a good one. 2 treble 19s, which Madders loves, will leave double 16 for the match. He can't get it started. He's going to take a chunk out of it. Treble 18, you would think.
94.
Leaves single to double. Willie O'Connor, how many darts at double does he get from here? 1 max. Double top again.
51.
He's not had that many darts at double in this game, Willie O'Connor. When he's missed his last couple, and Madders Razma has barely missed at all. And he does not miss there. It is a brilliant display of finishing from Madders Razma as the Latvian takes out the Magpie by 6 legs to 2. Look at that. 86% Madders Razma hitting just 1 dart at double, a 96 average. Willie O'Connor didn't get many chances, just the 5 in total, and it's a rare early exit for the Magpie.
$100. $57.
Bullseye's an option,
65.
which Hurrell utilises to leave himself on a 2-darter.
$100.
That leaves double 12, nicely tidied up and nicely taken out by James Hurrell. Big chunks of money at big events, and it's great, helps you out for 2 years, but when that 2 years is up, that money comes off your ranking.
45.
All of a sudden, you're having to go and have a run there again, or you'll be suffering a drop down the rankings. Good visit from Hurrell, first 180 of this one. Gets himself down to a finish. Chance to open up a little bit of daylight in this game.
$97. $140.
Once again, Hurrell checking where the dart landed. Always good to check, I find.
$140. Game shot.
That's a really good leg of darts on the Hillbilly. 13 darter, breaks the throw, takes a 3-1 lead. All of these scores, tv.dartconnect.com. And it has just registered a score of 60 for James Hurrell, and that might not be enough.
$60.
It's matched by Williams, so a missed opportunity.
$58.
Spraying him a bit there, James Hurrell, nowhere near that treble 19.
$60.
I knew none of those really threatened the treble 20 either. Just 3 points between them. Well, now they're level. Dear me.
$25.
Well, there's been 3 visits of nothing from Hurrell.
Game shot.
And that is nicely taken out in the end by Jim Williams. It was not a brilliant leg at all, but it is a break of throw. We are back on throw in this game. Oh, much better.
140.
Well, credit to Hurrell. Down to a finish after 3 visits to the board. Can Williams join him on one? He should. Oh, he's on an even better one. 4 180s in the last 3 legs for Jim Williams. And he'll get a shot.
60.
The combo finishing has let him down in the last couple of legs. Does it work for him this time? Double 8. No,
88.
it doesn't. Jim Williams has missed a match dart. Oh, problem. 1 at the bull. That's all he's got. And he hits it as well. James Hurrell has somehow clung on to win that. He was 4-1 up and dominant. He faded alarmingly. Had to survive a match dart from Jim Williams, who missed a dozen darts at double in that game. In fact, he missed more darts at double than Hurrell even had. But a bullseye to win it in a last leg sees Hurrell pick up his first win of the week here in the Netherlands.
And he hasn't been world #1 for over 4 years.
Well, it took him until, what, November? With October, certainly the back end of the year, autumn, for Michael van Gerwen to win a ranking title. He did win a couple in a week, but these title droughts are becoming a thing.
Big time shot. It could have been.
98.
This could be the difference maker. Getting the break of throw for MVG would give him that little bit of breathing space he craves. He needs the ball. It was all about this shot. It won him a world title. And it wins him leg 4. But as far as the Autotron's concerned, not a happy hunting ground.
Yeah, and that's got to be frustrating. I'm not sure how much he cares whether he's Barnsley, Wigan, Hildesheim or whatever, but this one, it's literally, he gets to stay in his own bed. But he can be back in it within 3 hours most of the time because he's lost in round 1.
95.
And Owen Bates is threatening to break straight back here. No need to look at the treble 17, which is why he's gone to the 19s. Now he can go to the bull.
64.
Like that play. Leave single to double.
I love that shot as well, but 10 years ago that was alien 100. To everybody. I'd like to know who thought of that first. It is tops.
Game shot.
And that is very good. The break back is immediate. As a top level dart player, than when you can't hold your own throw.
Well, he'd even brought
82.
the bullseye in to leave the 270 in the previous visit, knowing that a straight ton would leave a finish. But when you stray from that 20 segment, it's hugely frustrating. You saw it written all over Owen Bates' face. MVG down to 64. His leg isn't gone yet for Bates, but he needs to find a treble.
60.
Oh, no, that's not a great lead.
Nobody likes a 1-2-8. You might not even get a look at it.
56.
But he does, and we're about to find out if he can hold.
Needs another. Is it in? It is. Double 10. Oh, Owen Bates nearly pulls that one out the fire for a level game, but MVG has missed a fair few doubles in this game.
Game shot.
Not this time. The 4-2 lead is his.
His own admission, he won it. He's not played his best. It's finished brilliantly for a while. Hang on. Look at this. It's 5 perfect darts to start the leg. And if Owen Bates, I feared that if MVG got his nose in front, got a break in front, Owen Bates might
97.
feel that it's all too much of a job. But he bounced back brilliantly, having been broken the first time. He's doing the same here. What a leg of darts this is.
100.
Well, you know what Michael would have done? He would have left double 1.
Well, back in the day he would. I'm not so sure about nowadays.
140.
He's had his chances. This is one he's got to take.
Game shot.
And that is an 11 dart break. Full credit to Owen. A stunning leg of darts.
Greatest from this country ever to play the game.
Don't let Raymond hear you say that.
I'll tell him.
140.
This game isn't finished yet. Or is it? It might be.
136.
And it was very close to being over. Bates breathes again. But guess what? He's looking for a break of throw.
42.
Because he doesn't get it this time, Van Gerwen can finally get a win under this roof.
Double eight is there, and Michael Van Gerwen finally gets a win here this year in his own backyard. Owen Bates had darts to win 6 of the 9 legs played. But as you can see, 27% on the doubles is not going to be enough. Rarely is it going to be enough against Michael Van Gerwen. You can see there's not a great deal in the averages, but MVG just about sees off Owen Bates. He'll face the winner of our final first-round game on this streaming board. It's Horvat and Geeraets coming up.
There are bigger fixtures, but now and again, when you get 2 people of this note, you can have a barnstormer. And why not? There's another one.
Well, Geeraets is a very capable player, and to be honest, he might have achieved even more were it not for some rather agonising defeats in semis and finals. Qualifying for the Worlds, for example, he's fallen short a couple of times very closely there. This for an 11 darter. Oh, dear me. What does he want to do?
45.
I still don't know what he went for there. It might have been a single 10. It might have been double 15.
Answers on a postcard.
100.
By the look of it, I think he was going for a 10 to leave double 10. But now he's a bit cornered with his opponent on a 2 darter. That was only just in the single 7.
11.
Well, Geeraets and Horvat went back-to-back 180s in this leg, and from there, it has been horrible. And this to pinch the leg. And a 2-0 lead for the Dutchman in the first sort of 9 months of being a tour card holder. But then things did start to improve for him, and he started playing well. Started to go a little bit further in events.
85.
And he gradually built and built and built, where you think, this is a really exciting player. Won a Euro Tour. Now, Patrick's got a long way to go following those footsteps, but
45.
there are the early sorts of signs that of what Pikachu was doing.
Could be 3-0.
80.
Pause for effect. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit far north.
Will he come back? Will he come back? No, he won't, because Geeraets and Horvat takes the 1-6-1. What a...
140.
That's probably a good sign, getting a 140 instead of a max. However, it could be 3-3 still.
For his biggest finish of the game?
96.
He was very, very close, Patrick. Nearly a 12 darter. It could be a dart at the ball at the end of this for Geeraets. No, it's double 12. Double 6. Wow, he's lucky not to bust it. Geeraets and Horvat has hit 5 180s in this game, and a 1-6-1 finish. And yet his finishing has been woeful. And Patrick has managed to pin double 8. Everything is a struggle when it comes to the doubles for these two in this game, but it's 3 apiece. Who probably should be getting himself a tour card.
Yeah, I've actually seen Andreas this year play concurrent games, averaging 111 in both.
52.
The levels are sickening. Well, the 1-6-1 was sickening a little bit earlier. He's not going to find a second one.
65.
But a really interesting process is Patrick. When he's addressing the hockey, it takes him a while for him to look at the board.
140.
Geeraets never takes his eyes off it.
50.
Oh, hang on. This is a great opportunity for Geeraets. Double 18 for 5-3. And it is the Dutchman who leads this one. It's not been a game where the combination finishing has been particularly good. There was one massive one from Dragutin, but that will hurt just as much. Because look at that. When you've missed all those darts at double, taking out 113 to go a leg away from the win, that will sting Dragutin Horvat. Well, who cares about that, Paul? You didn't care how many players you annoyed, did you?
It used to happen to me, this. And someone said to me, can you please fix that? That's annoying me. And I didn't. Until the next season.
Well, 4th 180. That takes us into double figures for maximums in this game. And it's going to give Patrick another chance at a ton plus finish.
140.
Dragutin gets down to a similar one. Double 15, maybe? No, he went 19s for double 12. And that will do it. Patrick Geeraets takes out a second ton plus finish of the game to win it by 6 legs to 4. A match which featured 10 180s, millions of missed darts at double, a sparkling 161 checkout from Dragutin Horvat. However, it was the 2 ton plus finishers near the end that sealed it for Geeraets, and there'll be an all-Dutch clash in round 2 with mighty Michael van Gerwen.
A certain tall Norwegian. Kordecker.
180.
Not good enough, but that visit might be good enough to pressurize Andrew's position. Now a very real possibility
59.
of 2-0. Had a shot at a 144 in the previous leg. This is simpler.
7.
It's closer, but that might be as close as he gets to a 2-0 lead. It'll be the bull for Andrew.
65.
Half of it, not enough.
Game shot.
Brilliant shot. That's exactly what you want to do when you've got 3 darts in hand. Just get rid of it. You'd love another maximum. Asking ye shall receive. Now Andrew has to take the 170 out. Things are getting very tight in the corner. And that is right in the corner. How's his bullseye?
145.
That would have been bone-shakingly brilliant if he'd hit that. But now, Jeffrey's looking at 4-1. Looks awkward. Not awkward enough. Clinical when he needs to be. And Jeffrey de Graaf has put his Players' Championship woes from the last few weeks behind him. That when he doesn't do this anymore, people who've played him for years would say he is hard to beat. And he is. Even from this position, getting over the line, it's not a guarantee. But based on no 140 there, de Graaf is in dreamland. Tops.
95.
May not be dreamland yet. But if he's getting a second bite of the cherry in this game, he's taking it. This one's getting away from Andrew rather quickly. Very much so now. He has to win the last 5 legs of the contest. Otherwise, his next focus will be the next tournament in his agenda. Today will be the last day of Jeffrey's week. He's not qualified for Munich in the German Darts Grand Prix.
135.
In fact, he's going to have a bit of time off after today. So the best he can do is make the most of Players' Championship 14,
140.
which he could be with a 6-1 victory if Andrew doesn't take this out. Double 18.
Game
He's
shot.
still alive. Golden shot from Goldfinger. That bodily movement that Andrew makes towards the oche, it's usually something that doesn't give anything away, but at the minute,
140.
little movements that he's making are showing a bit of desperation. And you can't blame him for that. The better player in this game has been Geoffrey de Graaf. Of that, there's no doubt.
92.
He's got 6 darts minimum from this position to book a spot in the next round. And with the luxury of leaving 32 after 12, it's surely academic that Geoffrey will be in the board 16 final.
99. Game shot.
board
and the
final
match,
is his.
Geoffrey de Graaf.
He bossed that game, did Geoffrey, and he's very happy that he's got 2 wins in a row here today. After a barren spell in round 1 over the last month, he's starting to figure it out. And Andrew Gilding sees Geoffrey de Graaf beat him by 6 legs to 2 with excellent doubling and one of his best averages of the season of 99.18. But who will Geoffrey play? Will it be Sweden's Oskar Lusiak, who he knows very, very well, because they're from the same country, or will it be the ferret Johnny Clayton? Over the next 6 weeks or so, he will be on the end of the tongue of
60.
lots of tips. Whether it's here at the end of May, for the Dutch Darts Championship, whether it's the European Darts Grand Prix in
140.
Sindelfingen, or the 2 that we've already mentioned for April. He will be the favourite for one of those events, I am absolutely positive.
140.
So even with that 140, Oscar is still a dart behind Clayton. Johnny was tempted to ask what he's got
138.
left, and then he realised it's 2 treble 20s. This time it's tops.
Game
A
shot.
very fuss-free 13 darter gives him a 2-1 advantage. Get the feeling that the former plasterer is starting to
44.
turn his trowel here. That 60 bed is being battered all of a sudden.
140.
And there's not one darts fan in the world right now who thinks that Johnny Clayton will not take 41 out.
140.
But if he doesn't, Oscar's hanging around here.
Nine.
Well, how wrong can you be? Those 2 darts at double 16 were closer to the outer wire of the board. He may be puzzled by that, the ferret. But at least he's got a chance to put it right.
60. Game
He
shot.
does put it right. 3-1 to the ferret. Halfway point for the man from Wales. Could have Raymond van Barneveld against Gerwen Price or Nathan Rafferty. Or James Wade against Wessel Nyman or Michele Torretta. Lots of choice for you there.
100.
If you keep it here, I wouldn't blame you. Smith against Sykes. Very interesting indeed.
$60.
I just wonder if Johnny senses a bit of weakness there.
100.
And if he did, he's done quite well. You're more likely to take 76 out than 104. But the door is opening. Well
Game
done,
shot.
Oscar. Or should we say bravo, Oscar?
$180.
For about 5 seconds, Oscar was doing the foxtrot. But then he's reminded that Johnny Clayton's on the other side of the hockey. And he's got a 2-leg advantage still. What a tournament that is. Better than it's ever been.
180.
And Johnny Clayton's 180 hitting may never have been better than it is right now, because yesterday, getting into the quarterfinals, it was Johnny who had the most 180s in the last 8.
120.
Although he didn't have as many as Mike DeDecker, who only played a couple of games. But he might have a victory on the bull.
Game shot.
Typical
and
Johnny
the match,
Clayton with a
Johnny
signature
Clayton.
shot. He gets rid of Oscar Lukasiak and sets up another game with a Swede in the shape of Jeffrey de Graaf.
But as you said,
180.
despite all of the injury problems, well documented injury problems Michael
100.
Smith has had over recent months, and despite him leaving a bogey number there,
128.
the signs are very good, aren't they? A potential 13 dart break of throw incoming for Bully Boy.
58.
Tops after 12
Game
and
shot.
nothing after 14. This coming after his 4th ton plus average of the year. Now his bad game is 91.
140.
Well, there's nothing at all bad about this game at the
180.
moment. Smith scoring superbly well.
66.
14 dart start, looking to back it up with a potential 11.
Game
And
shot.
does exactly that. Sumptuous stuff from Smith. And we spoke about the problems that Sykes might cause. It's going to be pretty tough,
140.
isn't it?
Exactly that.
Yeah, he's got the mindset as well, isn't he? He's switched on. And he has shown at the UK Open this year he's capable of very
60.
good performances in front of the TV cameras, getting the better of Thibaut Tricol. Fantastic fashion, but
81.
Single's got to be quite high.
Game
That
shot.
is a wonderful shot and a little bit of evidence as to what Tom Sykes can do.
how concerned were you for Michael Smith when he came out earlier this year and spoke about
96.
the injury concerns he had, given the way he was playing at the time as well?
There are certain words you don't want to hear.
95.
One is dartitis. Another word is something that rhymes with dartitis. And it begins with A.
64.
And when he said that word, I sat down and thought, oh no.
92.
I'm not a celestial person, Abby, but at that point I'm thinking, somebody please look down on this lad. We treasure him. He's treasuring this
Game
because
shot.
it's a 5-2 lead. There's nothing wrong with him today. And when he's this polished, this is the kind of form that could yield another title. And somebody check on Dan Dawson. He might be in heaven.
60.
Michael is not far from victory here.
177.
This is a heavenly performance in its own right. Sykes has played very admirably.
100.
But this is what you've got to do to be elite. And Michael Smith's he knows all about it. It's double 4.
58.
He's disgusted. I think you might have been right, Abby. He just wants to get rid of these things as soon as possible, in as little reps as
180.
possible. That might be a parting shot for Tom, though.
Was a
One shot
13
and the match.
darter in the
Michael
end at the
Smith.
third time of asking. Michael Smith gets over the line and books his spot in the next round. There was a lot to like, a lot to admire from that performance from Bully Boy. There was brilliance in there, a 102.5 average, some fantastic finishing. As you can see, Tom Sykes didn't get too many darts at double, but there was a 120 out in there, a Shanghai, the best for him, the best finish of the match, in fact.
And Price got one last week in Manchester, didn't he, to get a nice little prize from the title sponsor?
134.
Yeah, that was the fourth of this year's Premier League campaign. Last year, we saw a record number of 9 darters in PDC darts. And at the moment,
100.
we're certainly on to break that.
777 for Price for 2-0.
81.
Just a little bit over the top. You can see that it was the tiniest little bit over the top, but he's still chastising himself. Margins that these players do play with. Very,
Game
very
shot.
small, of course. 81 taken in 2 by Ricardo. But when you get him on a good day, ask Peter Wright. Remember what happened in Hildesheim a couple of years ago?
96.
He didn't miss a double. Was it in 14 attempts?
Perfection in the final to win his first
96.
Euro Tour title. And to be honest, when we saw him on the stream yesterday, his doubling wasn't far from perfection. Does feel like he's
83.
turning a bit of a corner on the floor at the moment. As you said, last 16 yesterday as well.
49.
And he's on 142 again.
Of course, it's 19's first port of call. Double 14. Just had to break the rhythm to check that it is in.
You love that as a player.
Yeah.
You ask the question, you don't know if it's in, and then you get the good news. Well, the good
Game
news
shot.
is he takes it out for a 3-2 lead. To get to a finish, you've got to have single 19 and 2 treble 20s. If you get the treble 19, you're going to have to use the 18s after.
140.
Well, that puts pay to that then. He's not leaving a finish.
96.
I consider Gezi to be an elite tactician,
Yeah.
but obviously that one there is not part of his arsenal.
$140.
Well, he's certainly down to a
145.
finish now, Gerwen Price, and that was better. Bringing the bull into play.
Yeah, I like that 25. However, double 14 again.
Game shot.
And Ricardo's got it on a string. So he does 142 with 2 treble 19s and double 14. And then he goes 85 with 1 treble 19 and double 14.
To be honest, looking at their numbers across today,
180.
piles in another max. Price's first 9, almost 10 points higher than Ricardo's. But the German getting enough
78.
chances. So unfortunate there to drift into the wrong bed.
134.
Someone else who's drifting is Michael van Gerwen. He's 4-0 down to Johnny Clayton. He's not playing well. And Clayton's having his worst game of the day by about 10%. It's still enough.
Just as I had said, these two always
58.
play absolutely sensational matches against each other.
It's tops.
Game shot.
And this game, it may just be getting going. That break of throw, beautiful from Price. Now his job is to draw a level to make sure that Ricardo was not within one, with multiple chances to get this one. Where's dart 6? Oh, he takes the 1 off. Sometimes that's a good thing. This time it's a bad thing.
134.
Now, Price needs Ricardo not to take 206. Because if he does, that's the end of the Iceman and Rosmalen. And it will be next stop, Rotterdam.
100.
Well, we know he doesn't panic. You just said he doesn't panic.
123.
But he's quite frustrated with things, isn't he, the Iceman? Decent setup, but will he get a look? His body language suggests he doesn't think that he will.
What does Ricardo do on 80? It's a perfect lie.
60.
And he's overshot it. A bit of adrenaline costs him the match. And it's tops for Price. He doesn't panic. We're going the distance. And when you've never beaten someone before, albeit after just 2 meetings, you do want to get a mark against them, and it's never simple. Price is going to join him in the finishing zone right now, but how small can it be? Last
98.
second change of mind leaves it dead level after everything that's happened. Ricardo has the darts. He's already missed tops once to win 6-4. This time it's double 16.
Game
And he
shot
manages
and
to
match.
pin it. Ricardo Pietreczko makes it through to the quarter-finals. He has never made the final of a Players' Championship event. Could he change that today? It is an average near 102, and if he continues to finish like that, well, he's got a heck of a good chance of making it to that first ever final and possibly picking up a title. He comes through a barnstormer of a battle in that decider to reach the quarterfinals.
$68.
Amazingly, we're the 14th Players' Championship event of the season as Johnny
180.
Clayton compiles James Wade's misery after those 2 straight darts in the last visit to get down to 85 after 9.
100.
But amazingly, James Wade has not made it past this stage of a Players' Championship event in 2025. And at the moment,
Game
as
shot.
Johnny Clayton goes for the bull, pins it to break the Wadey throw. And I have absolutely no idea where James Wade has gone. He's out 180'd Wadey in this event. And it is interesting having Johnny Clayton back on this streaming board. I did mention it during the last
100.
match that we streamed. But he had an issue on this board yesterday. There is one tile on the floor that makes quite a bit of a noise
100.
as you're walking over it after retrieving your darts. And Johnny Clayton said it was quite off-putting, not because of his opponent walking over it, but because he was very conscious of it
97.
when he was walking back. Didn't want to be putting his opponents off, and it kind of got in his head a little bit.
$57.
But
Game
he
shot.
is very much in James Wade's head at the moment. That's a 13-dart hold of throw. The way the ferret's playing right now, it's going to take something pretty
140.
special to stop him from getting his little ferrety fingers on another title.
180.
Or James Wade missed the bull for the 161 in the last leg.
85.
Ferret not getting a look at the same target. Will Wade at the end of this? No is the answer.
$38. $56.
Well, at this point, I'd quite like to thank James Wade for being my commentary partner during this contest. Had quite a lot to say, hasn't he? Bullseye now.
101.
Well, he's had 2 great attempts at the bull in the last 2 legs. Couldn't have got much closer with either of them. Is he going to be punished again by the ferret? He absolutely is. Over the course of today's action, at the moment, he could well add another to the tally.
180.
Especially if he continues to produce starts like that. A match-winning opportunity incoming for the ferret to make it to back-to-back semi-finals here in Rosmalen.
60.
A little smirk on the face of James Wade, who's just run out of steam, it would seem.
45. $100.
Well, he is down to a finish, James Wade. But he may not get a look at it. Johnny Clayton has been so clinical at the back end of legs over the course of today. A dart at tops to win the match and book his spot in a second consecutive semi-final here in Rosmalen. Limited James Wade to just 2 darts at the bull at the back end of legs. There you can see it, 0 from 2. Those attempts come in at the end of a 161 and a 126, but there was so little that James Wade had in the tank to deal with what the ferret was serving up. He goes through to the semi-finals.
Then there's got to be some sort of change in the rules, because if Littler steps aside, it would be bunting, and then it'd be cross, and then it'd be Aspinall and Dope. Are they all going to step aside and allow him to play? Are we saying you can step aside and nominate someone to play? Just don't think it's going to happen.
97.
It would be funny if it was all bar 1 stepped aside, wouldn't it?
Yes, and in steps James Wade.
86.
Gruellich can't take the 126, but he leaves himself very well placed. Michael Smith to the 14s. Double 11.
113.
Did well to give himself the chance. Could not take it. Gruellich for a 13-dart break.
Game shot.
That is 2-0. Nice open bullseye. Oh, he can't pin it for the second leg
107.
running. Leaves himself on 25. Gruellich would love a go at the bull at the end of this. He might get one as well. Couldn't follow that treble 19.
96.
What's the route? Is it 5 or 9? That's 9 for double 8.
9.
Don't think he was particularly pleased with that effort.
What gives you that impression?
This will not enhance his mood. Oh, that's a great dart from Dominic Gruellich. 3-1, the German leads. And this is his 6th game of the day. To be fair, Michael Smith, having conceded 4 to Ted Everts, has been 6-3, 6-2, 6-2, 6-2. He has been cruising through the day. It is not a cruise here.
58.
Yeah, at the moment, he's cruising for a bruising defeat. Continues
99.
to verbalise how he's feeling about the darts he's throwing.
Yeah, Dominic Gruellich is just stoically getting on with the job.
And you wouldn't know it to look at him, but I bet Dominic Gruellich is looking at Michael Smith, get more and more wound up and thinking, you carry on. This is ideal. He's carried on with this sort of 89 average, and it may be enough. Double 5 is missed.
125.
5-1 beckons for Gruellich.
Wrong side of the wire, but a dart at the ball. Incoming for a 5-1 lead. And it'd be another break of throw, and that's exactly what we get. Superb stuff. Well, he gives absolutely nothing away.
$140.
It's not all about averages this game, we know that. And Dominic Gruellich, who is averaging 88.5 for the day, and he's averaging around about 88.5 in this game. Oh, he's got it, well, 90, there we go. But this is the level he's been at. He's had a little bit of fortune, survived match darts against Dirk van Dijvenbode, had a very tight game with Ryan Meikle in the first round. But he has been taking his chances. He has been doing enough, and it looks like he might have enough in this game to take out a former world champ. I went for the 25, couldn't get it. But he's going to come back with 3 darts, a double.
89. $140.
Smith is seething. But Gruellich is going one leg away. Yeah, but is it going to be? Now that Michael Smith seems to have found something.
171.
He has found something, but the thing is, he can't lose it. He cannot lose it for the next 5 legs. And that is a very, very tough ask. We know 100. Michael Smith can go and average 115 for 5 legs running, but can he do it right now without having one bad leg? Double 5. 40. Not found. Gruellich, another chance to win it. He couldn't take it with a 170. How about a 141?
Not going to get a dart at double 12 at the end of this combination either. But this, you feel, does have to go for Michael Smith.
Game shot.
And it does.
Smith has won. He's not had a dart at double yet, Gruellich. Yes, he's had shots. 170, 141.
60.
And he should be feeling confident. He's won loads of games today. He's won more games than he's ever won in a senior tournament in the PDC. But he's got a lead 59. Here. He's got a 100-point cushion. Set this up, take it out. You're in the final for the first time in your career. And what a dart that is.
Oh, that is absolutely magnificent. He's just had to withstand
60.
A bit of a revival from Michael Smith in this match, but to make it through to his first PDC Players' Championship final. One match dart has come and gone. But he gets it at the second time of asking, wraps it up with a 14-darter. You can see how much that means to him. Michael Smith was frustrated from start to finish pretty much, but 47% checkout success from the German. What a day this could end up being for the 23-year-old. Just a matter of weeks before picking up his first development tour title. He could be about to add Players' Championship glory to the tally.